So once you've finished the initial knowledge check, you'll come to this screen, which is just giving you kind of an overview of what the software thinks you know and what you still need to learn. So this picture here is what we call your ALEKS pie. In each wedge, we have topics that are related in some way. The shaded part shows what the software thinks we know. The gray part shows what we still need to learn. Now we've gone to our home screen. This is our ALEKS Pie tab. If we click on one of the wedges in the pie, we can get more information. Here I see that I've mastered 29 topics in the yellow wedge and have 6 left to learn. Don't worry if your numbers are different from this. Here's my timeline, showing, among other things, my upcoming due dates. Here on the left, I'm shown what I'm working toward. We'll come back and look at that some more in just a moment. But first, I'm going to start my path. This is what ALEKS calls our learning page. Here we're given an example of the sorts of questions we're going to be working on in this topic, and a brief explanation of how to complete them. Once we've read the explanation, we're going to hit Start. Now, I'm not going to really stay on this page long enough for you to read through this explanation, because I just want to show you how these lessons actually work. So this bar up here shows how many correct answers in a row we need. But wait, let's see what actually happens as we work these problems. If at any point you get to a problem that you still don't know how to solve, don't worry. You can just hit the explanation button again. And get a walkthrough of exactly that same problem that you were looking at. After you get a walkthrough of that problem, you're brought to a new problem. So I'm going to go ahead and answer this one. And when I hit check, you can see that one of the boxes up here fills up. All right, next, I'm going to go ahead and answer this one as well. And now when I hit check, oh! When I answer 2 correctly in a row, it doesn't just fill in one box. It fills in 2 boxes. Watch what happens, though, if I get one wrong. When I answer one incorrectly, it takes away one of my boxes. But if I then go on and answer it correctly, it gives me that box back. If you don't know how to work the problem, you can go ahead and hit that explanation button, which you notice does not lose you a box. So let's go ahead and finish up this topic. When we finish the topic, it gives us kind of a check-in on what we're currently working on. If we click this Continue My Path, it'll take us directly to the next lesson. But I'm going to go back to the home page, and we'll look a little bit more at what we see here. Notice at the top of the screen it says I have mastered 55. That's where I was after the knowledge check. And now I've learned 1 topic. As I work through topics, my number of topics learned will increase. From time to time, the software will give me another knowledge check. And when that happens, that will let me move any questions that I answer correctly from my learned topics into my mastered topics. Any questions that I answer incorrectly on my knowledge check will move back into my remaining topics, and I'll have another chance to learn them. So let's see what we're working on here. This time on task is part of your participation score. Remember, in participation, you can earn up to 9 points per week for working in ALEKS. If you work this full 9 hours, you'll earn the full 9 participation points. Some of you will not need to work in ALEKS for 9 hours every single week. If so, be sure you explore the other participation options that you see in Blackboard. This 9 hours a week is just for the purposes of earning participation points. If you want to continue working after you've used up those 9 hours, that is totally fine. You can work as long as you like in ALEKS each week. If you don't make it to the 9 hours, again, that's totally fine. It just means you've earned fewer than 9 participation points. In order to be on track to earn full participation points by the end of the semester, you should try to earn at least 7 each week. If you earn fewer than 7 participation points from working in ALEKS, make sure you explore the other participation options. And here we see Unit 1. I am at 30 out of 36 topics in Unit 1, which is due September 9th. Depending on how well you did on that initial knowledge check, you might already see Unit 2 here. As soon as you finish Unit 1, you'll be moved immediately into Unit 2. If you see Unit 2 here, you're working ahead. You're absolutely welcome to work ahead as far as you want. But please don't be concerned if that September 9th due date is coming up and you haven't finished Unit 2 yet. If you're working in Unit 2, you are working ahead of where you absolutely need to be. If it happens that you don't finish Unit 1 before the due date, the software will still give you those topics as you need them for future understanding. But you'll lose a small number of points for any topics that you don't get to. Once I'm finished looking at this home page, I'm going to go ahead and click Continue My Path and continue to work on lessons until I've finished Unit 1. Or, if I've finished working in ALEKS for the day, I can go ahead and log out at any time. Whenever you log out, your progress is saved exactly where you are. In the middle of a lesson, in the middle of a knowledge check, it doesn't matter. Your progress is always just saved.